I've done your audio walk and I think it's really amazing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think I particularly like two parts. Like the first one is how you told us to look up when we are on the escalator, and the second one is how you ended the walk. That you said the seats are full and you can't sit elsewhere. I think these two parts are the really interesting parts of the piece. And so I want to ask you, did you make most of your content of your audio walk beforehand, on site, or when you're recording your voiceover?
Right. Well, so basically my process was I first thought about like what I want to talk about, right? So I thought, what are some issues that I can actually address? And I decided that like the consumerism and the way the space is designed in order to keep the people moving, that could be something interesting to talk about in this context and would work if I walk through it, like make people aware of the space. So yeah, then I went over there and I recorded a lot of sounds. I stayed there for probably like somewhere around 2 hours and just recorded different sounds and whatever. And then I went home and I decided, I looked back at my route. Like I chose my route and then I looked back, how do I want to talk about this? At what points do I want to talk about what things? And then I wrote my script, I recorded that, and I just overlaid that.
So afterwards?
Yeah, so I basically did my script is all after I decided everything else.
Yeah. And I've read your concepts, as you say, the consumerism, how the spatial design or the architectural design influence how people consume in the mall.
Yeah.
And I want to ask, were you really that aware or conscious about the how the very complicated designs of the mall actually influence people before doing it?
I can't say that I was particularly aware that it is the way it, like I can't say for sure that this is the way it is, but one thing that I noticed when I first came to Hong Kong was that like there's very few benches in Hong Kong, right? So like people, the whole space is designed, keep moving, like don't slow down, don't sit down, don't make more traffic than there needs to be. And so that was basically, that's where my initial idea was. So my initial idea was to focus on benches, especially, and like where you can sit in the mall. And then I kind of elaborated that to make it more of a bigger concept, you know. Yeah, so I guess that's basically where it came from. So I'm somewhat aware out of personal observation, but I can't say for sure that it's fact, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So the next one is regarding your choice of your journey.
Yes.
How you plan your journey. So why would you choose to bring us back to the starting point instead of going elsewhere?
Right. I think that was just kind of a stylistic decision in a way. Like I wanted to kind of have the whole walk go full circle, and I thought the way the space is designed, it was kind of it made a lot of sense to me to, if you start there and I can go upstairs and I can take the escalator down, and when I'm on the same level again I might as well go back, especially because since my benches idea was like my initial idea, I still wanted to incorporate that, and the benches are right in front of the starting point. So after going up and coming down again, I wanted to definitely head towards the benches so I could talk about the benches for a second.
Benches in there.
Yes.
The only few benches.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So about your field experience, is there anything really remarkable or interesting experience that you, when you were recording your site?
Do you mean, can you
interesting or remarkable experience?
while I was recording my sounds? Okay. Well, when I went to the space to kind of like see how I would want to approach this topic, I was actually quite fascinated when I first decided that I would want to. I walked towards the open atrium, right? And I looked down and I fixed my gaze at one point, like I told people to do, like just look at one point and notice the movement. That was really quite interesting because I realized there's just this endless stream, like coming from everywhere, going everywhere. Yeah, so that was, I think, that was quite an interesting moment for me. And then as well, the trumpet, the trumpet in the background. Yes, there was a band. I recorded the whole performance of the band as well, but I ended up actually choosing while the kids were still preparing their instruments, they were just playing around on the trumpet and whatever, like just making fun, I guess. So I decided to go with that. I thought that was quite an interesting moment, and I was happy that I was able to catch that on audio. Yes, yeah.
And I think one thing that I appreciate your work is that you're really well organized. It's really well organized and well constructed, and your instructions were pretty clear. And I want to ask you something. Do you have any regrets on regards to the something that you missed?
Right. I think overall I'm pretty happy. I think in the beginning I was stressing out a little bit because of the way I designed my process, right? With writing and recording the script after I've already been to the location. I was very worried that my timing wouldn't work out, and I think in the very beginning, going up the first escalator, that was a little fast, and so I wish I would maybe have written my script and recorded it slightly differently, slightly shorter, that you have more time to go somewhere. But I think besides that, I think it's actually pretty solid, and so I'm pretty happy.
Good.
Yeah.
And I want to ask one more about your lines.
Yeah.
But you said you hate Christmas. Do you really hate Christmas?
Well, I said I dislike Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't hate Christmas.
Yeah. Because of the consumerism or just per se?
No, well, it's kind of complex. I enjoy Christmas in the way that I really enjoy spending time with my family and getting together, and this kind of serene kind of atmosphere. Everyone is just joyful, very festive, and everyone comes together, eats together, has a really good time, and very peaceful. I really enjoy that. On the other hand, what I really don't enjoy about Christmas, and what kind of almost ruins it a little bit for me, is this consumerism around it, where you start in supermarkets, they start selling Christmas chocolate and like
that you don't want to buy.
Yeah, you don't want to buy it because it's like beginning of November. Like, calm down, please, you know. Like, and Christmas songs like before Halloween even happens, you know. And so that is like so in your face all the time. It's like, okay, like at least wait until December. Like, I understand when you're in December, yes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But any time before that, I just think that's really annoying.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And actually 3 more to go. And I hope you aren't so tired. You've got your seat. Yeah.
Yes.
So we know that this work is actually based on Janaka's work,
Yes.
the audio walk, and it is an adaptation of her work. So how does her work actually influence you?
I think the influence that I mostly took out of it was the way she speaks. I thought I read that she purposefully speaks very calmly and close to the ear, so that it would feel like she's the voice inside your head, and very calm, so it doesn't actually become creepy or weird in a way. And so I tried to adapt that style of talking, and also the way she moves her audience through the space. So like she notices the instructions that she gives, not just where you should go, and not just information, but also like random little things, like look to your left, there's a woman in a red coat standing. I had a coat like that once. So I thought making it a little bit more personal and a little random like that adds a lot, and so I tried to incorporate that. Yeah.
So how do you think is your work different from hers?
I think my work is different in the sense that she, in my opinion, from what I've heard, talks a lot more about personal stuff, and talks very almost intimate things. And I wanted, with my walk, I wanted to actually talk about an issue like design of space to really like aid consumerism, and as well with the Christmas marketing, basically using Christmas. And then so I think she, from what I've heard, she doesn't always talk about real societal issues like this. And also when I incorporated in the end the facts about the 110,000 people on average per day go through the space. There are 5 benches. I don't think she does that a lot, where she actually gives like straight facts. So yeah, I think it's a little different in that sense.
And then the last one, how do you have some different feelings about festival walk after the project?
Well, I have to say, quite honestly, not that much. It was always, I mean, it's very obvious that it's a consumer-oriented or consumerist-oriented space. That it's all about buying and getting as many people as possible to buy as many things as possible. So I think that's been quite obvious. So I don't think that I have much of a different opinion about Festival Walk now. But I do have to say that I see the space still a little differently, in the sense that I paid more attention to the benches now. I realized there are literally 5 benches in Festival Walk, where there's 110,000 people going through it every day, and so it's like these kind of things. Yeah, the way it is constructed to serve a greater purpose, that is something I pay a little more attention to now. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.